It's the morning of the 20th of June. This is my report for the Aussie dollar yesterday. We had a strong recovery from the most important support of the week at the 2016 low of 68.29.24. In fact, we bottomed exactly at that level, so buying there really worked well. We left a bullish candle with a potentially bullish double bottom pattern as well yesterday, so we were looking for a recovery in the Aussie dollar after those bullish signals and holding the most important support of the week. We initially had topped exactly at strong resistance at 68.85, 68.90, already bagging a good 50 pips or so in that trade, but the bullish signal signaled further gains yesterday, and I was looking for the next target of 69.00, 69.05. Where did we get to? The high yesterday was 69.09. So target hit. We topped just 4 pips above. And if you took a little bit of profit there, that actually worked quite well because the market then backed off to 68.75. That will be our key support for today. That's 68.75, 68.70 area. And in the Aussie dollar, we will need to break above that resistance level, which I had yesterday at 69.00, 69.05. So we'll need to get through 69.10 for further gains. And I do think that is possible into the end of the week. New Zealand dollar also working well this week. We headed lower as expected to test key support at the May low of 64.80. We had a strong bounce from 64.88.86. So we didn't quite test that level. We just bounced a few pips above it. On Wednesday, I wrote that holding key support of 64.80, we'd hit the first resistance at 65.20.30, and I was looking for us to test the second resistance at 65.60, 65.65. I said shorts were risky. Well, we certainly did hit that target. In fact, on the first test, we topped right in the middle of it. Now, wish I had said shorts were not risky, because of course we backed off down to the first support level of 65.30. We tested it again, and as I speak to you now, we're kind of just holding around that level. So that resistance level is certainly working. We've got some support down at 65.30, 65.25. Of course, if we break up through 65, that's going to look more positive for today. If you've been following me in the dollar yen this month through June, you'll know that I've had 108.50, 108.60 as a strong resistance level. This is working again this week. We've traded a little bit above there at the start of the week, up to 108.72, but less so as the week's gone on. 108.67, peak yesterday at 108.50.60. So if you've been selling into that resistance level, it's worked well. And look how we've now plunged down to 107.89. Euro yen's been a big winner. We had a selling opportunity at 121.95, 122.05 with stops above 122.20. This worked really well. I think the high was 122.12. So short there really worked. We've collapsed significantly. On Wednesday, we bounced just 5 pips above my target of 121.0090. That had already offered a potential profit of 190 pips for the week. On Wednesday, I'd said that the gains in the euro yen were likely to be limited, with minor resistance at 121.55.60 and strong resistance at 121.95. 122.05, that same level again. Well, we traded mostly sideways yesterday, and in fact it was the first level that held. The 121.50, 121.55, 121.60 level, as we topped just 5 pips above there. Euro US dollar, as you may remember from my videos last week, dropped to held the resistance at 112.85.95. That worked really well, so shorts there did well. We hit our buying opportunity at 112.05, 112.00. Now that held on Friday and on Monday, returning a little bit of profit on those longs, but it was then broken on those Draghi comments in the middle of the week, and we dipped not actually that far, but only as far as 111.79. Yesterday I wrote that we had first resistance at 112.18.22, and then a selling opportunity at 112.35.45 with stops above 112.60. That actually worked okay. We got to 112.52, so we had a chance to sell into the shorts at 112.35.45. A little bit of profit offered, not much to be fair, as we dipped down to 112.20. So that will be the level again today to watch. We've done well in the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar as well this week. We topped exactly at key resistance at 134.25.35. Here it is on the hourly chart. right on the 61.8% resistance level. There was some other moving average resistance on other time periods, so this is why we saw that as key resistance. Shorts here, as I said, worked really nicely. Yesterday I wrote, or on Wednesday I wrote, that the outlook remained negative, so we were looking to hold those shorts for a move below, and holding below the first resistance level at 133.90. 80 was to target 133.55 and 133.35, then 133.0005. Well, those shorts absolutely nailed it yesterday as we tumbled even lower than I'd expected. We're now trading down at 132.71 as I speak. So if you were selling it up there, well, you certainly had 130 odd pips profit as we hit my target down here at 133.00. So even if you'd have taken your profit there, you still would have had a really nice week in this pair. If you're still holding the shorts, then you're really smiling at the moment. Cable, the pound versus the dollar, has been in a negative trend for quite a while, so we've just stuck with that negative trend. Easy, really. Trend following is obviously the idea when you're trading. I had the pound holding below the May low of 125.60.55 to target 125.05.00. We hit that target, but we unexpectedly bottomed there. I didn't necessarily know that that was going to be the low for the week. As you can see, we certainly did bottom there at 125.04. Now, this left a bullish candle on the daily chart just as we were getting into oversold territory. So on Wednesday morning, I wrote that we bottomed exactly at that target of 125.00, 125.05.00. We had a bullish candle in oversold conditions, so I was looking for a further recovery yesterday. I wrote that further gains target the strongest resistance of the day are 126.0010. Try shorts with a stop above 126.20. A break higher is a buy signal. So if you look at the hourly chart, we just paused at 126.00, 126.10. We didn't actually reverse from there. So we had a small loss, 10-15 pip loss on that short trade, but the break high was the buy signal. So if you then reversed into a buy, into a long, that worked really well as we rocketed up another 60 or 70 pips. So the outlook is pretty good for the pound. I think we can continue to see further strength from this little bullish pattern that we've formed in the middle of the week. Pound versus the yen's returned some huge profits this week. The shorts at key resistance at 138.05.15 worked as we continued lower through 137.20.15 and broke support at the May low as expected. We then hit the next targets of targets as far as 135.35.25, and we bottomed exactly there on Tuesday. That was a potential profit of 270 pips on that pair. Nice and easy. On Wednesday morning, I wrote that we bottomed exactly at our ultimate target of 135.35.25, and we shot higher to top exactly at first resistance. That was the action on Wednesday, well, before Wednesday, on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday morning, I wrote that shorts were risky after the bullish candle. We had a bullish candle in that pair as well. I was looking for 136.80, 136.85 yesterday. That's where we got to, I do believe. Here's the daily chart. There's that little bullish candle on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we got up to 137.00. So we hit that target of 136.80.85. I'm looking for resistance at 137.15.25, where I was looking for a high for the day. Well, we missed that by 15 pips. Oil, I've expected to trade sideways this week. We did beat strong resistance at 52.80 to 5300 on Tuesday. So I can show you that on the chart here. Initially, this was the resistance. There was the resistance on Monday, which held, and we dipped back. But then by Tuesday, we had rocketed up to the resistance level at 54.38 on the 23.6% fib. Anyway, you can see that held again yesterday. 54.42 was the resistance. I've got strong resistance. Once we'd beaten 52.80, 5300, I was looking for a test of that strong resistance at 54.35.45, and we've topped exactly there. If you're short, you need to stop above 54.80. If you are short, you want us to hold that strong resistance, looking for 53.60, 53, and then 52.80, 52.50. Good support down there for some profit taking on the shorts.